If you're like me, then you're a fan of weird pedals. And you probably already know exactly what this is. But for everyone else, this is the DoD Gonkulator, a super duper weird, bordering on unusable distortion pedal that also features a ring modulator built into it. You can tune it to be the pitch that you want to drone, and you play along to it, and you get all distorted, and you have a bunch of fun, and you sound weird, and then you put it away because there's no song that you have in your repertoire that it actually fits into. But it's a wonderful and weird pedal, and for a long time, the originals were fetching big, big, big money on the used market. But then DoD came out with a reissue, and these go for $150 all day long, wherever you can find them. But what if I told you that now there's a possibility you could get a Gonkulator clone for like $40? That's what might be in this box here. I was cruising around on AliExpress a while back when I was shopping for those last, those Mosky pedals that were the most recent AFFORD-A-BOARD video. This is going to be an AFFORD-A-BOARD video too, by the way, because this is a $40 pedal. Oh my gosh. My first question is, and the reason why I bought it, is why? Of all the pedals to clone and sell at an AFFORD-A-BOARD price, why the Gonkulator? Now, this is interesting. All right. I might be answering my own question here now. I am having a strong suspicion that this isn't just a clone. I think this might be coming out of the same exact factory that this is coming out of. They just made a different bevel around the top edge of that case, and they didn't stamp DoD into the backplate. But otherwise, this looks really, really, really close. But there's this weird, like, kind of rubber lifter here underneath the foot switch, and it has the exact same thing going on. It has the exact same recess where the input and output jacks are. The power jack is exactly the same. The back plate, like the edges where the screws go in, like it has a unique shape. I think these are being made by the same factory that's making these. Like, it's, why else would it be in such a similar case? I'm going to have to crack this open at the end of the video to see what the circuits look like. This might even have a DoD board in there. Jeez. I was expecting something a bit more like, oh, here's a cheap clone. Here's a cheap knockoff. But this might actually be, what's the word for that? These are being made by an OEM. But what does it mean when the OEM is reproducing them in with their own art and their own name and reselling them? The brand is Ghanaian, by the way. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ghanaian. Very interesting. We might have a mystery on our hands. Maybe a little bit of controversy. So let's plug them in and see how they actually compare. Will it actually sound the same, if not similar? This is an AFFORD-A-BOARD video, so I will be using an affordable guitar, this time the SX Liquid. I have made one modification to this. The stock trim was not good, so I swapped it out with a Descendant trim that I had in a drawer. Might as well use it, right? And of course, I'm going to be running into the two Princetons rig. Okay, here we go. There is the clean tone. We don't need to hear that anymore. Let's check this thing out. I'll start with the Ghanaian, the modulator ring mod here. Set everything to noon. And then after we figure this out, we'll do some comparisons to same settings on the DoD. There you go. That's what we're in for here. So if I remember correctly, what we have is the ring modulation mix control and the ring modulator frequency. So you blend in that ring mod into your signal. Let's try to match the note that I'm playing, an A. There we go. Now we're matching the A. Well, it matches the A. It doesn't match all the other notes. Let's see if I can go for a high ring mod of that A. Of course, you can pull the ring modulator all the way out and just have a distortion. Let's get a little bit more conservative here. Check out the range of some of the other controls up here. Take the gain all the way up. Noon. All the way down. Sunk. We'll turn the sunk all the way up, which is the distortion control on the Gonkulator. At noon, more volume. All right, so that is pure ring mod right there. with the distortion all the way out. People are just rushing out to buy gonkulators now after those tasty, tasty tones. But how does it compare? It sounds like a gonkulator to me, and I have a strong suspicion that the guts of it are 100% gonkulator. Just judging on what's going on the outside of this box. Like, I don't think there's any reason to think that this is someone out there doing their own take on a gonkulator. I think this is coming off the same line as this, I'm assuming, with no changes made. So let's take a listen. And of course, in a little bit, I'm going to run gonkulators in stereo because I have to, right? I don't have a choice. That does sound a little bit different. Maybe just some component variants from the pots, maybe? I just tweezered the knobs a little bit and it got really close. So yeah, I'm gonna say the same so far. Let's try to replicate that. It sounds a little bit different. Maybe I just didn't dial it in right. The knobs are so sensitive. It sounds a little bit different. I don't know what to tell you. Let's try a lower octave now. It's hard to explain the difference. This sounds a bit tighter and brighter, and the modulator ring mod, the deer one, the green one, sounds a little bit more open. I mean, they're both gonkulating. Let's be honest. I want to hear how just the distortions sound. They're so close. There's just like a slight kind of difference between the two. But yeah, they're both gonkulating. They're gonkulating hard too. I want to run them in stereo. I'm about to do that. That was interesting. What I was just doing is interesting to me. I had dialed them both in to ring with a B note. And then I was playing in an E scale over it. So that B drone was acting as a fifth against the E scale. Very interesting. It had this really nice, like full doomy sort of, but still like dissonant sort of sound. I love messing around with weird dissonant sounds. All right, let's do stereo now. What we've all been waiting for. And of course, I'll throw a baritone or maybe the bass six at it. I've got the bass six right there, so that's probably what I'll grab. These pedals make an incredible amount of background noise, and it's tunable. You can tune it with the frequency knob. I'm not going to mess with it now, but because why would I want to mess with this perfect tone? I want to do a wet dry reverb thing. So I've got the reverb on my black Princeton back there and a pulsing tremolo. Just the distortions now. There's slightly different settings. Well, it's more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's easy to look at the Gonkulator and be like, I don't know how I would ever use that. But there are some fun sounds here and there. And if you want to sound dissonant and weird and threatening, it's a good place to start. That's for sure. So let's crack these open now. I'm as curious as you are. I want to see how closely the guts match up. Even the screws are exactly the same. DOD, Guinean. DOD, Guinean. However it's pronounced. Ah. DOD, what are you doing to me? They've got a piece of foam like lightly glued to the back of this. All right. Hopefully that doesn't screw up my Gonkulator. There's a little trim pot right there. Wonder what that's for. There's foam in this one too. It looks exactly the same to me. I'm not circuit minded. I'm not educated in how circuits work and things like that. But part for part, component for component in the same exact places. Everything's exactly the same. This is Gonkulator Rev 146 2015. This one says ring modulator Rev 0 0408 2021. It has the same trim pot right there. It's in a different position. I wonder if that has something to do with the slight difference that I heard in between these two different pedals. That is interesting. I wonder what DOD, the company, would have to say about this. Because clearly, if it's not coming from the same place, it is being cloned. Just identical. I've covered a lot of pedals, not just across this channel, but also across the AFFORD-A-BORD series. And I've never run into this. I've run into import brands OEMing for each other, having the same exact like circuit boards and stuff like that, and just being like, oh yeah, this is just the same, like 3-knob distortion or whatever as this other branded one. They're using the same case or whatever. But I haven't run into an AFFORD-A-BORD brand that is clearly the OEM manufacturer for a US brand, and then taking those designs and printing them underneath their own name and selling them through a website. And I'm sure, like, you can't find this stuff on Amazon, I'm sure. Is this on Amazon? I don't think it is. I was only able to find this on AliExpress. What's the ethics of this? What do you guys think about that? Discuss it down below in the comments section. I think if you're ring modulator curious and you like distortions, the Gonkulator is a no-brainer. It can be a ring modulator or it can be a distortion, and it can be both. And the distortion sounds great. It sounds fat and full and heavy and thick and all the adjectives that you want from a distortion. There's no tone control. The ring mod is your tone control. But you might have like that special song where you need that little bit of a weird dissonant kiss to what you're playing. Or you want to be over the top and sound like an old school telephone making a call. My gut reaction right now is if you know that you're going to be a gonkulator, you're going to be in Club Gonk, I think you should go for the DoD. Just because like the ethics of this feel really weird right now. This is beyond, you know, some import company pumping out another copied circuit of whatever. There's trade dress stuff going on here. It's the same exact circuit. I would be so shocked if this was not coming out of the same exact factory. I don't know. I want people who are in the industry to get in the comment section and tell me what you think. I don't know. This sounded good. It sounded like a gonkulator. It's clearly a gonkulator. It's cheaper. It's $40-something versus $150 new. I'm sure you can find these in the one-teens or something like that. I don't hate the art on this. It's actually kind of charming in a way. I liked doing stereo gonkulating. I'll say that. That was fun. I don't know if I'll ever have a practical use for it, but I'm glad that I got to do it. But there's a debate here. There's a discussion to be had, so let's have it down in the comment section. I want to know what you think about the ethics of buying this versus this. If you already have one of these, but you want to go stereo, is it ethical to spend less to get a second one? Is everything unethical? There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. You could take that stance for sure. Or it could be completely unethical just to buy either of these because gonking sounds weird and you're going to torment your band members and they don't want to hear it for good reason because it's a weird sound. But anyways, I want to thank someone. I want to thank the Patreons because they did fund this. This is a Patreon funded demo. I bought this with Patreon funds. So if you want to support more content like this, where I check out weird, cheap stuff from across the internet, then consider supporting the channel through Patreon. Other than that, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me a rude, nasty comment. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.